One of my favorite quotes, be the change you wish to see in the world, Gandhi. It's one of my top five. It's one that I go back to all the time. In fact, really, when you look at my my work with the hashtag MRA movement, or you look at all my advocacy for fathers' rights in Texas, if you go back and watch my endless videos talking about the importance of Texas 2503, which is a custody law, it's already on the books. The only problem is it's never enforced. So therefore, when it's never enforced, there's a whole class of people called men or fathers. And remember, we live in a world called the United States of America, and that the United States of America has a thing called a constitution, and that constitution has a thing called federally protected statuses. And federally protected statuses, believe it or not, protect all different classes of people, from religion to disability to even gender. And very few people realize or even believe that gender is a federally protected status. And I'm one of the very few people that's advocating for men's rights in the state of Texas that can actually say, I argued that federally protected statuses apply to men, especially in a civil case, and I was threatened with jail. So that shows you how far equality is for men in the Texas civil system. So if you're Googling this, if you found this video, hello, I'm Jonathan Fibinogi, you're probably Googling best lawyer in Austin, or best lawyer in Houston, or father's rights advocate, or custody law, and you found this video. Hello, I'm Jonathan Fibinogi. It's 2017. I'm probably the most vocal advocate for father's rights. I'm going to tell you another quote that I don't like to admit. Then I'm going to talk to you about a solution that's really going to help you, and it's going to cost you $2,800 because I'm putting together like a father's rights kit that's really basically just knowledge is power. And like I said, there's no human alive that's more familiar with the intricacies of the Texas father's rights movement than me. I mean, I literally am the only person. I was a pro se litigant. I went to a jury trial. I was literally reading code. I was divested of counsel. And I'm going to tell you something from the trenches, from the warfare. And again, my only qualifications is I'm not a lawyer, is that I saw the belly of the beast. I saw the way it works. And here's a reality that you're going to have to understand. There's two realities, and you're not going to like these realities, but you need to know this. Number one is, there's three realities. Number one is there's a solution, and you could buy my men's rights kit and go into your civil case informed, educated, and that $2,800 could save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, even if all you did is use my kit to advocate so that you could get 2 or 3 victories in your case, that's going to save you $2,800. So one of the solutions is just to buy my men's rights kit for $2,800. That's the solution. Here's the bad news, and it's a quote. The quote is that women are crazy and men are dumb. What happens to most men is they go talk to a lawyer, they just go find somebody online, maybe somebody's recommended. They go tell their story. That person, they trust that lawyer, which I think is an oxymoron. They take him to court. The man loses substantially. And guess what that guy gets to do? He gets to be a part of a Facebook page. And there's 64,000 other men like you and I that have gone through the civil case, and we're like, whoa, what happened? This shouldn't, I was awarded custody. How come I can't see my custody? Well, because Texas 2503 is never enforced. Wait, she's able to get this level of income when the law specifically states this. Well, what happened? Well, number one, you didn't buy my divorce kit. So one of the things that I want to do in 2017 is I want to help more men not join this page. And this is a good Facebook page. I'm not dogging this page, but there shouldn't be 64,000 people on a Facebook page bitching and complaining about equal parenting when we have Texas 2503. What we should have is about 64,000 people who have come together, hired federal lawyers, and are now suing municipalities on federally protected status levels on the fact that 2503 is never enforced. Now, if that's a foreign language to you, get ready, because once you go through your divorce proceeding, once you go through your modification, you're going to understand how important Texas 2503 is, and also how important it is that the law is followed relative to the amount of spousal support and income that you actually have to pay. And a lot of lawyers still live by that 20% rule, which is sort of a 1970s law, and I can show you that in the code, but I can also show you how a lot of lawyers, just because it's easier to defer to the 20%, they end up costing you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So what's the solution? Is you need to buy my divorce kit so that when you're talking to your lawyer, you are educated, and my kit's either going to help you find a good lawyer, or it's going to help you keep your lawyer, and it's going to hold him accountable, so that when he says, well, yeah, this is what the law says, you're like, well, Fibonacci's kit says boom, 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 and he can't argue with the code. And if your lawyer argues with my kit, what does that mean? It means that your lawyer is the wrong lawyer for you. You're like, well, holy shit, John, if I gave you $2,800 and you gave me all this information and you helped me find a good lawyer, and that lawyer protects me in my case, now I have 10 years. Holy shit, that was a really good return on investment. Yeah, you have 10 years of unencumbered visitation with your kids for $2,800. Because of my $2,800 divorce kit, you now get to write off one child per year that you pay for. Well, holy shit, John, that's worth $5,000 a year to me. Well, yeah, exactly. So one of the things that happens with the Father's Rights the Father's Rights movement, I'm going to close on this, is here's a reality that most men don't know or don't want to accept. And I'm here to tell you, the way that the Texas civil system is practiced now in 2017, it is set up and designed so that men fail and women get paid. Women get paid. And once you know that reality, that you are about to go into a system where you are going to fail, and it's set up that you fail if you're a man or you're a father, if you know that, whether you buy my kit or not, I've done my job. Because if you know that it's set up to fail and you say, well, I'm just going to trust my lawyer, that's on you. But if you listen to a 10-minute video on YouTube and you're like, well, holy shit, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. He actually knows about Texas 2503. He's defended his federally protected status in a court of law. He knows that police officers do not enforce 2503. He knows that lawyers don't even know what 2503 is. He's familiar with the code to protect my income. And if you don't want to spend $2,800 on that investment that's going to only benefit you and your family until your children turn 18, if $2,800 is too much for you to spend with that on the line, then I can simply say to my Jesus, I did my best. I did my best. And it's very true. Women are crazy. Men are dumb. And I tried my best to make sure that men were educated and protected and informed in their civil cases. And what I'm talking about right now is probably a little early. But in the year 2020, the year 2021, 2022, you're going to see men's rights and people like Fibonacci becoming more mainstream. Until then, knowledge is power. Until then, knowledge is power. And $2,800, think about that. What is the cost? What is the value of unencumbered visitation with your children until they turn 18? What is the cost of having your income protected and having laws that protect men's income put on the table and put on the record? What is the cost of what's the value of walking into a lawyer with about 8 or 9 bullet points and saying, okay, now I'm going to vet my lawyer because Fibonacci has given me some information to have an intelligent discussion? going to close out on this. If you don't listen to anything I say, or if you don't buy my $2,800 divorce kit, if you want it, email me at americano417@gmail.com. Just tell me your basic situation. Give me about 48 hours, 72 hours to get it to you. It's $2,800. Drop me some PayPal. If that's not something you want to do or can do, you need this piece of free advice. Number one, if you are going into a divorce or a divorce modification, Google Texas Criminal Code 2503 and make sure that 2503 word for word is included in your final divorce decree with all the penalties, and with just put it in there. And then when she decides to act like a lot of ex-wives do, and she decides to make sure that you don't see your kids, or she makes sure that she wants to kind of play some of the games that she played in the marriage, and she wants to penalize you, if you ever have to fight for your right to see your own children, when you take your divorce decree to your lawyer or to that local police officer to enforce the law, he's going to tell you he doesn't get involved in civil matters. What you need to be able to do is, because of this video, you need to be able to open your decree, show him 2503, show him the judge's signature, and get out your camera and record him reading 2503 with the judge's signature, and then say, for the record, police officer, tell me again that 2503 is not in the criminal code and that you don't get involved in the civil matters. And if you took that video and you put that on the record in your case, I assure you it will change the climate and the outcome of your case, And then finally, and I can't stress this enough, and this is the really, really bad news, and you need someone to be very candid with you. In the state of Texas, it only cost a woman $500 to levy an abuse allegation against you. If you drink, she may call you an alcoholic. You could even be in the 12-step program. She could use that against you. Anything you've ever done, she can use against you. And if she decides to go to the ultimate level and say that you abuse your children, it only cost her $500. It could cost you your life, but it cost her $500. So what's the point with that? When you are sitting across from her attorney that's charging her $200 to $300 to $400 to $500 an hour, that attorney, well, let me just go with statistics. Did you know that that the current statistic that I've read, that 70% of divorce modifications or divorce proceedings, 70% of them have false abuse allegations. Why? Because it only cost her $500 to win the game. It only cost her $500. And sometimes these ex-wives can be so cunty and so malicious, and these lawyers want to win so bad, they'll destroy your life for $500. So you need to know the facts of what's happening in Texas civil system. I can't make 2503 enforced. I can't raise the penalty. I can't make local judges hold ex-wives responsible for 2503, or actually hold them accountable for perjury. The Texas civil system is a holocaust because they can throw so much bullshit at you, and everything is done in the auspices of what's in the best interest of the kids. And everything that she does, she just puts comma, what's in the best interest of the kids. And that's how it's practiced. They want to take all your money, it's in the best interest of the kids. They want you to move out of the house because it's in the best interest of the kids. They don't want you to ever see your kids because you like to drink a little bit. It's in the best interest of the kids. That's the way it's practiced. And you decide to say no to that, $500 is all she'll pay for an abuse allegation. And there's these cottage industries of how CPS people work and how these quote experts, and you realize like, wow, I have to go talk to this expert, pay $750, this expert's another $5. This is a cottage industry. You're like, yeah, this has been a 15-minute video of me kind of explaining to you what you may go through for the rest of your life. So I want to do this. I want to simply be the change that I wish to see and say, listen, I know that you're going to get eaten up in your case, but I also know knowledge is power. And I know that if I had a Fibonacci in my life, somebody who put together about 8 to 10 points that helped me to really have an intelligent discussion with my lawyer, or in my case myself, because if I noticed that my lawyer wasn't defending my Fibonacci 10, then guess what I would do is I would put those Fibonacci 10 on the record. And that's what I'm really doing with my kit, is I'm going to give you 8 to 10 very, very important laws with code that you might have to read on the record. And doing that on the record will save your ass, because even if you lose on the local level, you can win on the federal level or in an appeal. But what you don't know is if you don't have a Fibonacci 10 to put on the record, and you want to appeal that decision, you can't do it because it was never put on the record. Knowledge is power. $2,800. Buy my divorce kit. I can help other men in other states, obviously, but it's $3,800 because I have to do more research to your each state's specific laws. Like, for example, in Florida, their 2503 is going to be named something different than Texas 2503. I'm sure Florida has an equivalent. Well, I have to do that research. So I can help anybody anywhere. In Texas, it's $2,800. Other states, it's $3,800. Email me at americano417@gmail.com. Listen to this video again. I don't want you to lose your family, and I don't want you to be an enslaved an enslaved servant to your ex-wife for the rest of your life because she decides that she wants to take 25% of your income. Email me, americano417@gmail.com. This will be my final #MRA video. Figure if you make 10 or 15 videos about men's rights and that doesn't work, then it's true. Women are crazy and men are dumb. The problem is that women own the Texas civil system, so their crazy will fly. My $2,800 is designed to help you so you don't die.